Hello, CHS parents. My name is Mr. Smith, and this is Advanced Art Back to School Night. So, this video is only supposed to be about 10 minutes, and I got a lot of things to talk about, so let's just get right into it. This is a slideshow that I always show the students on the first day to introduce myself. So, I was born and raised in Lancaster County. I graduated from Lampeter Strasburg in 2011. And then I went and studied art education at Kutztown University. Got my degree there in about 4 years. And then after that, I was a little burnt out from education, not sure if I wanted to teach. And I went and took a couple gap years where I was teaching snowboarding out in California. Then I would come back to Delaware and lifeguard. This is some artwork I was making during that time. I find it very, very important to not only teach art, but also do art myself. And that's something I definitely am outspoken about and really like to instill in the students, as well as that they are all artists. And one area I've had a little bit of success with my own art is selling t-shirt designs. I've also worked with a couple bands to do some album art and visuals and things like that. So these are some examples of that. And this is all artwork made in the last year or so. So yeah, like I said, I definitely consider myself to be a contemporary artist. And not only that, but I'm into fashion a little bit too, drawing and painting on clothes. Kids seem to really be into that as well. Just me and my girlfriend. Anyway, after floating around between California and Delaware, I decided to take my education at Kutztown and put it to use. And I was like, all right, I'm going to give this art education thing a try, and I want to teach high school art. So I came back to Lancaster, and I taught for 1 year at Penn Manor as a long-term sub, and then 1 semester at Central Dauphin East as a long-term sub. And after that, I came to Cocalico about a year ago. So I've been a long-term sub here at Cocalico for a year, and now my contract has been extended to January. Might get extended for the full year again. I'm not sure, but I'm here for it. Hopefully I get a full-time contract somewhere, but for right now, I've been able to teach for about 3 years just on these different long-term sub contracts. To get a little more specific into what it is we're doing in advanced art, and also my independent study students I find are really benefiting from this. We are attempting to emulate the impasto painting style of Vincent van Gogh. He is most famous for painting this picture, Starry Night. And it's just a really fun approach to painting where you just kind of go for it and really layer on the paint nice and thick and try a bunch of different things out. These are some of my favorite Van Gogh paintings. And these are the main things going on in this lesson. We got painting techniques, color theory is a big one, and also using many different references to create one cohesive piece. A lot of students will just look up something on Google and they're like, hey, that looks cool, I want to draw that or paint that. And I really push them to take that a couple steps further and taking true ownership over their artwork, making it original. We already did these different cube paintings as practice for the piece. And basically, we are taking a Van Gogh painting and combining it with subject matter of your choice. A lot of the times it's some sort of pop culture reference. So over here, this is a contemporary sculpture by the artist KAWS. And over here is a classic Van Gogh portrait. This is a student example from last semester, combining these two things. And this is my teacher example. I took this painting over here, combined it with one of my favorite Japanese films. This is what I mean when I'm talking about different reference photos. And that is my teacher example. So yeah, I think it's really important to create teacher examples right along with the students. It's just endlessly beneficial. And I work hard to make sure that my students understand what it is that we're going over. These are a few other student examples from this lesson that I taught previously. Okay, anyway, that is it for the intro. And now I want to talk a little bit more about this class specifically. A very normal question I get from everybody, not just parents, but anyone I tell that I'm an art teacher. They ask me, how do you grade art? So right here, this is a very normal grading rubric. These are for the larger projects that we'll be doing in class. So we spend about a month, maybe at the longest, like a month and a half on one of these projects, and it'll be out of 50 points. And the main thing I'm looking for as a teacher is just growth. Did the student try this new stuff we're learning about? Or did they just ignore it and do whatever they want? I'm not really super concerned with how technically amazing it is. However, for my students that have taken this course 2 or 3 times, those expectations definitely do go up a bit. But anyway, just to take you through this real quick, we have things like planning, classwork, and effort that have nothing to do with how good the artwork actually looks. Planning is following directions. Classwork, were you on task? And effort, if you didn't understand something, did you advocate for yourself? Did you ask me? Did you take it home to spend more time on it? Things like that. And at the advanced art level, I definitely encourage my students to take the artwork home. Every now and then I will assign for them to take things home. But if you're taking art seriously and you're at the advanced art level, you're definitely going to be asked to take art home at some point in time. So I did already create a lesson about this, an online lesson where the student's supposed to sort of clear out a space for themselves at your house. So hopefully they went ahead and did that. I think most of them did. But yeah, that's definitely something that you should expect as your kid to be doing some artwork at home this semester. Then we have craftsmanship and technique. Craftsmanship is just how neat the artwork looks overall, which is something I myself am still definitely thinking about and definitely can improve on. And also technique, which is what we're going over at the time. So for this specific lesson, the Van Gogh acrylic painting, it's all about basically different ways that he was able to create this signature style. And even though we're kind of imitating someone else's style, this is the best way for young artists to start thinking about and developing their own style. And you can sort of borrow a little bit from this artist over here, borrow from them over there, and sort of combine a bunch of different things, and then, maybe do your own thing with it as far as subject matter goes and different things like that. And then for online school, this is definitely a work in progress for me since I have taught at 3 different schools in the last 3 years. It has been pretty crazy, me trying to learn Schoology, because my last 2 school districts did not have Schoology. They had a totally different way of creating online school, also different online grade books. So I'm always relearning and having to forget about the last one. So I'm definitely not the best, but I feel like I've been getting a lot better. So I'll just take you through Schoology here. I will post a week folder, and then in this folder we have the different individual days, and then in the individual day we have a couple assignments. So something like research your painting. This is when they're supposed to just do a little bit of research on the Van Gogh painting that they're basing their composition off of, and something like this is class participation out of 5 points. They write a paragraph or two about it. I give them 5 points. Boom, you're good for the day. I've also been doing some art history on Wednesdays, and they just take some notes based on that. Once again, it's 5 out of 5. So one thing I really want to talk about with my Schoology situation, it's there for engagement, and it's there to let students know, hey, I'm Mr. Smith. I saw what you did. Good job. But all the different grades in Schoology don't necessarily translate to PowerSchool. Schoology makes me create grades and due dates for almost every single assignment. That's just how it is automatically organized. So I do that stuff just because I have to, but the only grades that really matter are the ones on PowerSchool. So the grades on PowerSchool, the due dates on PowerSchool, those are the things that are most important for you as parents to know about your child's grade in my class. Anyway, I already went a little bit over. So that's all the different things I can kind of think to talk about right now. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me through email. And yeah, that's about it for me. So have a good rest of the day.